Alright, so good day everyone. Okay, so today we'll be discuss one of the most important concept in programming, which is for loop in C++. Okay, so this topic will help us understand how to repeat the task automatically without typing the same codes and again, right? Okay, so by the end of this lesson, you will see how the loops make our program faster and also cleaner and more efficient. Alright. Okay, so for our learning outcomes, okay, so after this lesson, you will be able to uh, understand what a for loop does and explain its parts and of course actually use it to inside the program. And then you will also learn how to loop through an array, which is very important when dealing with multiple data types. Okay? Alright, so without further ado, so let's start our discussion for this session. So let's go. So next slide. So let's define what is the for loop. Okay. So a for loop, it is a structure in C++ that let us repeat action automatically. So meaning in Tagalog, hindi na natin i-manual, i-repeat or i-retype ang isang code na gusto natin i-display or i-output. Rather, we use for loop to be able yung code natin or yung code blocks natin inside our command in our code blocks na mag-automatic na siya mag-output by using the for loop. So, magsa-cycle siya as long as yung condition natin ma-meet and then mag-stop siya kapag ma-meet na yung condition. Okay? Yan. So, instead of manual writing the same lines 10 times, so we place inside for a for loop and the computer repeats it for us. So, this is useful when the action needs to be done many times, like printing numbers, reading the data, or pressing arrays. Okay? So, in simple terms, kumbaga, we are telling the computers na ulit-ulitin mo tong o paulit-ulit tong hanggang sabihin kong tama na. Okay? So, parang nagpre-print lang tayo na i-print tong document na gusto natin i-print yung document using the Microsoft Office na tawag nito, 10 copies. Okay? So, by the using of printing Office Word, okay, anything yung documents you use, we type the how many copies on ilang yung ipiprint natin. So, we put the specific copies on there. Then, it automatically print it out. Okay? So, maglulog siya hanggang matapos yung linagay mong specific na copies doon sa before ka mag-print. Okay? So, parang ganyan lang in real life analogy. Makailan o ulit-ulitin yung pag-print or yung code mo na i-display. Okay. So, let's now proceed to the for loop syntax. Yan, so as you can see, we have here the for loop syntax. This one. Yan, alright. So, in our for loop syntax in C++, we have three parts inside the parentheses. Yan, dito. So, we have here the variables together with the semicolon, each part, then condition, semicolon, then assignments. Now, so what parts of the syntax? Those. Yan. Okay, the variable is usually our counter, like int I equals 0. So, meaning, in this one, so dito tayo magde-declare ng ating variable, unlike yung usual na code natin, ilalabas natin yung code blocks natin doon before pa yung code. So, dito sa for loop, dito tayo magde-declare, o depende yung gusto mo, as long as yung pag-initialize ng variable natin is tama yung syntax. But dito sa for loop, yung standard na concept na code natin, dito tayo mag-declare ng variable, pwede walang value, pwede rin merong value or data. So, pwede natin lagyan ng constant na data dito. Then, condition, dito tayo magpo-condition. Pwede tayo gumamit ng mga ascending operators, arithmetic operators, equals, less than or equals, yan, or less than, greater than, ng mga symbols. In assignment, dito naman tayo mag-declare ng kung ano yung konsepto ng loop natin, kung ano yung konsepto ng cycle ng code natin. Okay? So, the assignment is how we update the counters. So, paano ba yung counters? Okay? So, pwede pa reverse, pwede pa increase. Yan. Okay? So, usually yung assignment natin, nagamit tayo dito ng increment at decrement. So, later on, I will be show you the different of increment and decrement. Okay? Alright, so everything inside the curly braces will repeat every time the loop. So, dito na. So, ito yung ipiprint natin, loob ng body ng for loop natin. Pero nakabase siya dito sa condition natin. So, kung ilan yung condition natin dito, i-repeat yung ano natin dito, yung kung ano yung gusto natin i-display sa body natin. Okay? Alright. Okay, so let's now proceed the next samples. So, next slide. So, move to our next slide. So, we have here the printing numbers. Yan, as you can see, in this sample, the loop is start at 0. Okay? It will continue to run as long as I is less than 10. Less than 10, ha? Magkaiba yung less than or equal and greater than or equal or greater than. Yan, magkaiba-iba sila. So, each cycle, it prints the value of 1. Then, I++ increases the value by 1. So, the output becomes 0 to 9. So, this is actually the counting loop. Okay? So, bakit yung output natin is hanggang line 9 lang dito? Okay? Kasi nga, yun na nga, nag-increase siya kasi yung ginamit natin dito is increment. Ito. Bakit increment? Tawag natin na increment kasi yung increment is dapat nag-increase by the value by 1 using the symbol of this plus 1. Yung decrement naman is minus minus lang, minus minus. So yung pabalik niya yan, pa-minus talaga yan, dapat pabalik yung pag-grade niya, yung pag-cycle niya. So instead ng 0, magsisimula sa 9. 9, 8, 9, 7. So yung pagkakaiba ng increment at decrement. Okay. So in our code, yun na nga, bakit yung output natin, let's say we run this code, and as you can see, ito yung output natin, bakit hanggang 9 lang siya, pero yung condition natin 10 dito, yung condition natin dito. Then nag-increase siya by using the increment assignments, increases the value by 1. Okay, as you can see, diba, 0, 1, 2, 3. So, nagsimula yung I natin, ito yung condition. So, 0, itong 0, 0 daw yung I natin kasi naggawa tayo ng data dito ng variable na constant na 0. Then, 10 yung condition natin hanggang magsa-cycle yung code natin hanggang ma-meet na yung before mag-10. Okay. Okay, so bakit 9 lang kutob dito? Hanggang 9 lang, hindi nag-10. Kasi yung ginamit natin is less than 10. So meaning yung code natin, ulit-ulitin siya hanggang ma-meet na yung 10. But yung condition natin is less than ng 10. Okay? Less than ng 10 meaning 9 lang. Okay? So that's the meaning of our less than. So that's why nga 9 lang. Pero as you can see, 10 numbers pa rin siya, including the 0. Okay? Yan yung condition. Okay? Then, inside the body, huwag nyo kakalimutan, yung body natin palaging may, may killer braces. Yan. In our for loop naman, mga parts is, kada parts meron siyang, meron siyang mga semicolon. Huwag nyo kalimutan yan. Okay? Then dito naman, kung i-consulat natin, siyempre, meron dapat tayong semicolon. Alright. Okay? That's naman niya. So, alright, so let's now proceed to the next slide. Now, so let me explain naman kung bakit siya naging 9 and 10. Then gusto natin maging 10 yung output natin. So if we change the condition to lagyan natin ng equals, so meaning magiging less than or equal siya, equals to 10. So the loop will run until reach it to 10. Okay? So instead of stopping at the 9 before on previous natin na slide, so it will include the 10 in the output. So this is useful when you want to include the last number. Okay? Yan. So lagay natin ito. This one. Yan. So lagyan na natin ng equals para ma-determine natin kung ano yung last number. Okay, hindi siya ihinto sa 9 but i-reach na hanggang ka 10. Okay? Let me run this. Then as you can see, this is our output. Yan yung pagkakaiba ng less than and less than or equal. Yan. Okay? Yan, alright. Let's say, tanggalin natin yung ito. Ito yung output niya. So, hanggang 9 lang siya. Kasi nga less than. If we put this one, meron tayong output na including the last number. Alright. Alright, so let's now proceed to the next example. So these are the example of for loop. Sana nagigets nyo na. Now in our for loop, we could also use into iterating through an array. So na-discuss ko na ito sa midterm natin. So loops becomes very useful when dealing with arrays. So here we have an arrays of pawn. Okay? Ito yung arrays natin. So instead of printing each brand manually, we can use a for loop to print them one by one. But first, we must know how many items are inside. So we use this getting array size. Okay, di ba? So, kasi yung gusto natin i-print yung lahat ng inside sa natin, sa na data na i-declare natin sa arrays natin. Pinag-isa-isa natin na i-output dito. Parang nilagyan natin cout, then tatawag natin yung specific na size of our array dito. Kasi diba usually kapag lagyan natin ng 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 na arrays, so pwede natin i-display natin ito manually. Kung ano yung gusto natin i-display. Let's say yung Samsung, di ba, yung pagbasa ng elements dito, kasi ito yung elements natin, yung pagbasa ng index dito is research sa zero index. So we call this the pawns, then square bracket to Samsung to 1. Then kapag i-run natin to, ito yung makukuha natin. Yan, di ba, Samsung. So, di ba, ito yung usual natin paano ma-access yung natin, yung array natin na gusto nating iterate. Ano ba yung tulang? Iteration. Yan. Pag tagtatag-isa pa natin to, let's say, gusto natin i-display yung Vivo 2. Yan, di ba? Pag tatag-isa natin yan. Samsung and Vivo. But in using para mapadali natin yung code natin at pag-display natin, pwede natin siya i-cycle and iterate natin yan by automatically using the for loop. Hindi na natin i-specific or printing each brand manually. Okay, usually medyo makain niya ng oras. So, meron na akong ginawa dito na loop. Di ko na aanuhin. Kasi sa if we code pa yan. 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 So let's go back to our discussion. Yan. Para ma-determine natin kung ano yung size ng elements natin dito sa array natin. Kasi kailangan natin ma-define kung kapag hindi pa kayo familiar sa element and index ng arrays. Okay? So yun yung assumption natin, yung approach natin. Pwede natin yan malaman by automatically knowing the size of our elements in our array using the keyword of size of. So as you can see, this is our syntax to know how many elements or how many index available in our array. We use this keyword size of, then we divide it to the actual zero. Okay? Size of, or we call it the size of 1. Then this gives us the exact numbers of an item stored. So this techniques work for any arrays in C++. Okay? So let's say, yan, i-run natin ito. Then automatically natin malalaman kung ano yung size ng ating yan. As you can see, hindi pa natin na-display dito. Kasi di ba yung purpose natin gating and arrays, ito yung code. So we use size, this keyword. Very important to get the numbers of items. So this calculate how many elements that array contains inside our arrays elements. Okay. So as you can see, para malaman natin, i-see out natin, see out, then tawag natin yung initialize na variables kasi ito yung container natin. Copy paste, then i-paste natin dito ng semicolon. Then pwede natin malaman kung ilan na yung size of our element as an index. As you can see, 6, ito yung output. And using the keyword. Okay? Napapansin nyo, 6 yung index na available ng element sa arrays natin. So, dito natin ito nakuha sa cons na array kasi ito yung kinakakulit niya by 1. Okay? So, we divide it to 0. Then, 6 meaning 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But usually, this na-read siya as an element, pero yung actual na reading ng index ng array is nag-insert talaga siya sa 0. So, yung apple is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pero, nakakount pa rin siya ng 6 elements. Okay? Alright. Now, let's now proceed to the for loop. Now, yung approach naman natin is gusto natin siyang automatically i-print out individual ito na mga elements natin sa arrays natin. So, hindi natin, ina-avoid natin yung manual printing. Kasi medyo matagal yung approach na yan kasi ita-type natin yung specific na mga index at element na yan. By the use of for loop, we use the for loop to print each one, and each time the loop runs, the Poon's bracket of I, so we'll access the next element of an array. So this is how the C++ handles list of the data efficiently. Yan, so dito, yung for loop natin dito is initialize tayo ng variable dito, I, then nag-declare tayo ng data na constant na 0. So mag-insert sa 0 yung I natin na variable. Then, instead naman sa condition, ilagay natin dito yung size ng ating index sa array natin. And then, we use an assignment para mag-increase by 1. Then, we call naman the pawns, the arrays. Then, we call the I here in our body of our for loop. So, dito siya magbibis ng loop natin dito sa 0. Ngayon, search sa 1. Then, hanggang ma-approach na yung 6 dito. Okay? Then, ipakita ko yung output niyan. So, ito yung maging output. Okay? So, bakit siya nag-specific na mga line? Kasi we use this end. Pero kapag tanggalan natin tong, mag-didikit-dikit sila yan. Let's say, Yan, di ba? As you can see. So, very important rin na gumamit tayo ng end keyword para mayroon tayong specific na line. Yan. Okay? Gets na ba? Alright. Let's go back to our presentation. So let's have put here uh, less to be able it will read as a comment. Alright. Now let's now proceed to next slide. So we know the Aries. Ayan. So I put here the presentation in to with the output and code here in our presentation so that you have a review. Now, so additional example. Supposed to be this is not slide 1. Ayan. This example, counting backwards. Now, we use naman the decrement. Okay? Decrement naman. Yung pinagkaiba ng decrement is papalitan lang natin yung declare natin na variable na constant. Let's say itong 10. Okay? Then, pabaliktad na yung condition natin. Then, ano yung assignment natin is decrement na. So, this loop will start at 10, then and counts down to 0 using C++. Okay? So, reason na we start the 0, so the loop will run until reach at 0. Kasi decrement na siya. Countdown loops are used to usually yung mga time and grades or gains or delays. Okay? Yung mga counting numbers, reverse. Ginagamit to na mga konsepto. Okay. Let me see the example here using countdown. Okay. Okay, so the explanation of this one, so bakit siya nag-10 instead nga mag-0? Kasi yung purpose natin is yung pag-count natin ng numbers is pa-reverse. Kasi yung assignment natin na ginamit is minus, minus, minus. So, meaning this is a decrement na. Ito. So, pabalik na siya. So instead nga 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So, mag-start siya ng 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Okay? So, that's why yung constant na data natin dito sa variable na I is 10. Okay? So, itong I is mag-start siya sa 10. So, 10 to, 10 to. Yan. So, dito siya nagmula sa variable na declare natin dito sa first part ng ating for loop. Then, yung condition natin, kasi greater than naman yung 10 kaysa sa 0, greater than or equal. So, hanggang dito sa 0. So, mag-i-end yung code natin hanggang ka 0. Okay, but let's say yung approach natin is greater than lang. So, yung 10 greater than 0. So, kutob lang siya sa 1. Hindi siya actual sa pinaka last number. 'Di ba? To know the last number or the first number, we know we use the or equal sign. Okay, greater than or equal sign. Then yan, print naman natin. Then, if we run this, we'll get this output. Okay? Para, let's say, yung countdown, hindi siya hindi siya nakakalito. Lagyan natin ng end. Para meron siyang specific na yan. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Alright, so that's a reverse. So, yung ibahin lang yun lang. Dito yung dineclare na constant na data nyo sa variable. Then yung condition na i-reverse nyo or yung opposite nyo yung kanina using the increment. Okay, to greater than. Kasi pa-backward na yung pag-count ng numbers natin. Okay. Again, so example na naman. Another for example. So, the purpose naman dito is gusto natin ma-compute yung numbers by adding specific the loop. Okay? So, we start with the sum of 0. Then each loop cycle adds the value of I to the running total. So with the loop ends and sum becomes 15, this is usually becomes grading system total. So meaning this is ginagamit yan ng mga codes dito sa mga automation ng grid or by adding. Okay, ito yung concept niya. So, kung ano yung output ng sum, so actually magde-declare tayo ng value dito. Yan. Ito naman to. So, dapat mag-declare tayo rin dito ng ano, ng variable dito sa labas kasi mag-a-add kasi tayo ng base sa loop dito ng variable natin. Okay, sa sum, mag-set sa 0, then yung condition natin dito kasi hanggang ka 5. So makaka uh, lima siya magsa-cycle and makakalima siya i-add. Okay, 0 plus 1 dito siya magsisimula. So meaning meron tayong pinakauna na dito is 1 muna. Then paki-start paka-loop na naman again 1 plus 2. So magiging 2 na 2 kasi magsa-cycle na hanggang ka dito sa 5. Okay, parang yung condition na dito is magkakaroon na tayo ng ganito. 2 na. So 1 plus 2 equals 3. Then yung pang tatlo na cycle 3 and 4 and 5, then end na yung code natin. Yan. So if we run this, meron tayong mali. And then if we run this, we'll print something like this. Okay. Ano ba yung mali dito? I think hindi siya ma-print. Sum, per loop sum. Meron pang, okay. Minsan kasi nagloloko to eh. Bakit ba hindi siya alala sa iba tayo ng return? Pero hindi siya nagrahan kasi try to open the Bakit hindi siya nagraran? Supposed to okay. Pinatintas kasi natin ng ano dito eh. 1 eh. I'm so sorry. Hindi siya nag-run. Yan. Diba? So, nag-add siya ng 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5. Let's say, calculate natin. Let's say, 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 and plus 5 equals P 15. Alright, dito automatic natin kuha yung output. Alright, so meron pa dito yung samples. Yan, sa multiplication naman, ito yung output na di na ako ng samples. Okay, so multiplication table are a perfect use case for loops. So here the loop prints the table of a 5 by multiplying 5. So I each time. So this kind of loop is used in school systems, math, and program and automation. Yan. So as you can see, our condition here is hanggang 10 siya. So less than or equal yung ginamit niyang um, operators dito. Din yung assignment operators natin is C++. So mag-increase by 1 here. Siya is hanggang ma-meet niya yung 10. So hanggang 50 siya magano or 10 siya ng times. Yan. So yung ginamit natin dito is 5. Then ginawa natin yung output by times 10 niya dito. Then makukuha natin yung 50. So the loop prints the 5 times multiplication table. Alright, so let's now proceed to the yung pinasummary natin. So for our summary, for loops help us repeat actions without writing loom or manually. Then and also repetitive codes. So they are essential for counting, processing arrays, and also automating tasks. Mastering for loops is a key and a step in becoming confidence in C++ programming. Alright, so nagagamit natin to by automation, prevention ng manual entry or duplication ng codes so that it will be cleaner and efficient yung code natin. Okay, sana naiintindihan nyo and nag-gets nyo. I hope you understand and you learn or our discussion and session. So that will be all. Thank you. So kung mayroon kayong tanong, mag-comment lang kayo and i-chat nyo ako sa PM. Okay? So that's all for today. Understanding for loop in C++. Goodbye. Thank you.